And we're live. Welcome to the Team Tank Recap Podcast. We're here to talk about another come-from-behind victory for the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, I am referring to a victory, even though it was a loss, because now hashtag losing is winning. We have with us Gary Kester, who has a nice winning streak going. Gary, just keep talking, pat yourself on the back. More meds for you. Why not?
Yeah, I'm just wondering when I'm going to get my MVP trophy.
I would say you're the real MVP, but Kevin Durant would get mad at me.
Dude, I want that tear-stricken MVP speech where who's standing in the background eyeing the trophy a la Russell Westbrook. Would that be Ryan?
It'd be Ryan easily.
Yeah, Ryan. That door behind you would open, and Ryan would just be there.
That would definitely happen. We also have with us Gary.
Oh my Lord! Again.
You did it on air? Oh man.
Gary, go ahead and talk more about your winning streak, because why not?
Oh.
I take that back. We have with us Harrison is with us today. Harrison, you were able to watch the game, right?
Yeah, I was.
Good stuff. What was your takeaway from Monte having it all over the Lakers?
Well, it was like that Dirk Vine where he's just like too much Monte. Like that was the whole fourth quarter, and I can't believe I just did that on air. But yeah, he went crazy in the third. He had I think 18 points in the third quarter by himself, and then he really took over down the stretch too. The last 4 minutes of that game when the Mavs went on that 11-1 run to kind of close it out. I remember that was like flashbacks to when he was on the Warriors, just going crazy. It was empty back then because they were losing every game, but he just it was like one of those hot nights for him where he just couldn't miss.
I'm on a winning streak of my own, except the reverse. Basically, every prediction I make just comes absolutely true, but the opposite. So I was sitting there, I was watching with this game with my folks. I was at their place. That's why Gary was in charge of the tweets tonight. And my mom, brings up, don't let Monte shoot from outside. And I'm like, well, why? What would you rather have him do? And right then, he blew that reverse layup in transition and then proceeded to make 3 straight three-pointers to end the third quarter. And yeah, I have a special talent for these kinds of things, I guess. I also said on the radio for NBC Sports Radio today that Kobe probably hates the rest of his teammates, and guess who happened to be at the game tonight? Of course, that drew plenty of speculation, and we'll talk about Rondo later tonight, but do you guys think there's any coincidence going on there that Kobe happens to show up for the Rondo game?
Nope.
Not really. I think, Byron said after the game that he asked Kobe to attend all the home games from now on, so I don't know. Maybe it's a cover. I have no idea, but we'll see, I guess.
Can you just picture Byron, like the way that conversation goes? Hey, Kobe, hold on. Hey, Kobe, look, you're still a member of this team, and you should know by now what it means to be a Laker. Would you mind, maybe flying your helicopter to the rest of these home games? No. Nah, I don't want to, but I guess I will. Rondo's playing tonight. So we're going to...
Well, you guys I was going to say, considering he can't even get Steve Nash to return his calls, he doesn't really have the greatest track record of convincing guys to come to games.
Yeah.
It should strike some people as bad signs that players the two highest paid players for the Lakers this season are actively avoiding the head coach. They are doing whatever they can to say, no, Byron, I'm good. Byron's that one creepy guy that, at your work that asks you on a Friday night, hey, what do you got going on tonight? What's going on? Can I maybe join? You want to go get a drink? No, Byron, we don't want to drink with you.
I've been saying that Nash is stranded on an island somewhere. It's like Castaway 2.
They asked me today about Matt Nash, retiring and stuff like that. So I recycled Harrison's Canadian joke because that's a pretty good joke. Go ahead, Harrison. Why don't you go ahead and say why was Steve Nash's retirement not that shocking to you, or impending retirement?
I do not remember what you were talking about at all.
Well, then fine. Then it was my joke. Go ahead and take credit for it. I basically said that Nash announcing his retirement was slightly less shocking than him going publicly with the fact that he's from Canada.
Oh.
So I'm looking at the box score. We already mentioned Monte, doing Monte. Parsons had a really off night. 1 for 5 from 3-point range, and all of them. It seemed like he was always open. Gary, what do you think?
I just assumed he.
Oh, go ahead, Harrison.
I just assumed he had a good game because he didn't murder Ryan Kelly in the middle of the floor. So, I guess I didn't even bother to look at his box score line. But yeah, that should end the Ryan Kelly small forward experiment. They just need to show that clip to in film session tomorrow.
Especially considering it was a white small forward. Imagine what a non-sneaky athletic small forward would do to Ryan Kelly.
Non-sneaky
athletic. Gary, what was your takeaway? It's almost become at this point we have to analyze every game, and the first thing when you're talking about with the Lakers is how did Jordan Clarkson play, right? So I'm looking at his box score, 35 minutes, 6 for 13 from the field. Looked like he struggled a little bit, but what'd you think?
Well, he's kind of following a pattern. He plays really well in the first half, and then they just stopped going to him in the second half. They did it in Memphis, and then tonight he was 6 of 11 at halftime, and ended up 6 of 13. So he took 2 shots in the second half, and I think it's because he goes a long stretch where he just doesn't play in the second half. It seems like he goes out relatively early in the third, maybe halfway through the third, and then he doesn't come back until there's 4 minutes left in the game or something. So it's becoming a pattern where he's.
It is kind of weird. I mean, there might be some halftime adjustments going on the part of the other team. We know they aren't coming from Byron. There's no adjustments coming from Byron in any of these second halves. But
he tells them to play tougher.
What's that?
He tells them to play tougher.
Yeah. I just picture I want to be a fly on the wall for one of his actual strategy meetings, where he goes over game plan and stuff. I just want to see hear some of the things he says, especially given his take on pick and rolls. Recently we're about to start our top comments section right now in a second, but he made some pretty stupid ones himself, right, Harrison?
Yeah, for someone who seems to know who Steve Nash is, he says that it would be nice, with his storied career, to have him around the team to teach the young guys. You would think he would have watched the Phoenix Suns, prime Nash pick and roll, and the 3 guys not involved in the pick and roll were still, they were still involved. They were not stagnant, like he says. So I don't know if he thinks the only way to run a pick and roll is to have the other 3 guys just stand there, or what was going on with that. I heard someone suggest that he was being sarcastic, but I don't know.
Everything he says is stupid enough to where you think he has to be kidding himself, right, Gary?
Well, I just thought the whole everybody else's stationary thing, that was kind of comical, but there was a sequence where Dallas ran a pick and roll. I was with I think Rondo and Chandler. And then Parsons was down in the corner and then flashed to the wing, and he was wide open because his defender had, sunk down into the paint to help Chandler on the roll, and he had a wide open 3. I don't know if he made it or not, but it's just just because the 2 guys are running a pick and roll doesn't mean everybody else is stationary.
I'm just drawing up really quick Byron's gameplay board, or whatever, his drawing board, how he draws up plays. So hold on 1 second here. This is an actual look. I got some inside sources from what his.
I can hear you scribbling.
There is no weak side action in Byron Scott plays, right? Everything takes place over here. This portion over here, like nothing's really going on. So, I guess if that's the case, if you have your pick and roll going on here, you also have to try to squeeze in the other three players over here because, you got to have proper spacing on the one half of the court that they used, right? So, and yeah, that's where the scribbles were coming from, Gary.
The weak side is lava.
Yeah. Yeah, Coach, why don't we ever use the left side of the court? Are we allowed to?
Off-ball movement doesn't win championships.
Yeah. Those stupid coaches using that whole basketball court. What are you doing?
How many rings do they have?
I'm pretty sure coaches that use a weak side have how many years has rings been given out for? So I guess going from there, awkward segue time. We're going to go ahead and jump into our bad comments section. Harrison, you said you found a Throwback Sunday one.
Yeah, Throwback Sunday. I found one from actually in the preseason. One of our writers wrote a little bit about Lynn, and this was actually my first experience with his really dedicated fans. I had never I had heard stuff that they were really intense, but I always assumed it was they were like Jeremy Lin. They were just really, really intensely positive. And so this was my first experience to the contrary. So he wrote that Jeremy Lin was, I think he just wrote that Jeremy Lin was just an average player, rather than that he was a superstar, and said that people should just treat him like that. Don't have oversized expectations and everything will be fine. And so it was the gist of the article. And so the comment reads, and that one got picked up by Yahoo. So they have a little bit less moderated and a restricted comment section than we have at Silver Screen and Roll. So the comment is from the user Winter is Coming, and they said, there is nothing in SB Nation that is relevant on Jalen ability as a professional basketball player. It's a racist sports media that pours flowers and showers gifts to one type of player while at the same time blasts and minimizes the contribution of another. Yes, a minority was elected to the high position of our U.S. government, yet racism still exists in our country, and it's an uphill battle for equality for all. As such, looking forward to Lakers games this year.
That's a great sign-off. Just call everybody racist and then, hey, I'll see you at the game.
Yeah, go Lakers.
We're the Los Angeles racists.
Oh, man.
Silver Screen and White Hoods. That's what your site name is, right?
Oh, man, you just got me fired.
All right, Gary, go ahead and top that.
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to top that, but I came across this comment on one of the Lakers sites. I won't disclose it or anything, but it says, this is probably taking it a little too extreme, but it just says, watch one game all season. Sad to see a great franchise have one of the absolute worst teams in all of sports. A lot of college teams could beat them, even women's teams.
Of course. Yeah, let's disparage women while we're at it too. Why not? Women in sports?
We're going to cover all of our grounds today.
Gosh. Anybody want to talk about Adrian Peterson beating children so we just get the trifecta taken care of? Actually, you know what? No, I'm just kidding. My comment comes with somebody paid to make this comment. AC Green had an interesting take at halftime of today's game. I don't know if it was during halftime or if it was during live play, but Ed Davis and Carlos Boozer were doing their thing and dominating the offensive and defensive rebounding statistics. So AC Green thought it was time to give them a nickname. Those two, he's going to come up with something really original, definitely not being used by somebody else, and he went with the Bang Brothers, which for 99.9999999% of our users, I would imagine, know what the Bang Bros are. They are a porn site. So AC Green decided Ed Davis and Carlos Boozer have a career waiting for them after their playing days. And also, the added the added portion of humor, that the depth of this joke, is that AC Green is famously religious, famously a virgin, held out forever. You know, we call him the Iron Man for his consecutive games played streak, but it should be the consecutive days without sex streak that we should really give him props for. And of anybody who would know what the Bang Bros are, it's somebody not allowed to have sex. If there's anybody out there who, you know, frequents that type of website, it would be AC Green. That was incredible. I was dying. I know Justin Russo also tweeted about it. It's here on the Forum Blue and Gold comment section that he made that comment. That was incredible. I don't know if I'm going to find a funnier happening in this season. That was so great.
That's when you think you've seen it all, you know?
Go ahead. One of you.
So, like, I guess now would be a good time to give the disclaimer I was supposed to give at the beginning of the show that this is not like a children's program, but yeah. You know, this is turn this off. This isn't for your kids.
Yeah, we'll have to give the warning beforehand and watch our views skyrocket. Gary, what did you have to add to AC Not So Green?
I was just gonna say, just when you think you've seen or heard it all, you know, you always get surprised.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2014, 2015 Los Angeles porn stars.
Good or bad, they're always entertaining.
Man. Oh, by the way, the search for AC Green Bang Bros is an interesting one if you're trying to Google and find his actual comments. So there's a little warning.
Was not planning on Googling that.
Well, I did. I Googled it to find the actual quote or some kind of clip. I found the wrong clips and the wrong quotes. All right, so we're gonna again another awkward segue coming your way.
As awkward as they come.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's a good segue for that segment just there.
Yeah, from Hondo to Rondo, we have there's a bunch of speculation about Kobe's presence at the game today. We already talked about that and what Rondo would look like. So we had a question from former guest, I believe it was Jerry Kachoyan, right?
Yep.
So yeah, he asks, you know, I know there was a back and forth on my timeline during the game about what Rondo actually is worth. Jerry said that I'm not allowed to say the veterans minimum, so I won't. So I'll go $1 higher than the veterans minimum. That's what I would feel comfortable paying Rajon Rondo. I just don't think you can build a team around him if he's getting anything more than maybe 7% of your cap. You know, he had the most success when he was surrounded by Hall of Famers, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's really regressed since then. I mean, he's had some moments, like he's had some triple doubles and stuff, but like as a whole though, yeah, he's really regressed since the Boston Big Three, you know, broke up or whatever.
Harrison, what do you think? What would your fair market value be for Rajon Rondo?
I'd say for me to get behind the Lakers signing Rondo, like it would I wouldn't want to sign him for any more than $4, maybe $5 million, and Kobe would have to take me out for bagels a couple times to like convince me that was a good idea. But like I don't know. I think that it's like you said, like he was better when he was surrounded by Hall of Famers, but you could really say that for any player is going to be better when they're surrounded by Hall of Famers, except for Kevin Love. But
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I just I'm not a fan of like guards that can't shoot. So I that's why I wouldn't have been a fan of drafting Marcus Smart, and like why I'm not a fan of Rondo. I think that the way the game's going, your point guard has to be able to shoot, or at least like finish at the rim and draw free throws at an elite rate. And like Rondo can't shoot free throws. He's shooting like I think 32% from the line.
Yeah.
Gary, you
They said it'd be like the worst percentage.
29% since he 29.6% since he went to Dallas
That's just, man, how are you
from the free throw line.
How is that happening? How is that? I mean, you mentioned Gary before we come on. Before we went live. You know, everybody talks about let's hack or Deca DeAndre or hack a Shaq and all that stuff. I was trying to find. I mean, I guess AC Green would say Ram or Rondo. So what would you say here? About that technique, that strategy for Rajon Rondo?
Well, I don't watch the Mavs, like every game like I do the Lakers, but I've never seen anybody do that with Rondo. And you would think it would be easier with him, and you could probably do it in the last 2 minutes of the game because, he handles the ball. DeAndre, you can't foul off the ball or, they can obviously choose the shooter and get the ball back after the free throw or whatever. And, yeah, I mean, if he's bringing the ball up like in the last 2 minutes of a close game and you need the clock stopped or, whatever, just foul him.
Yeah, I just 29% from I mean, in this league, when you're talking about what's prioritized over everything else in this pace and space thing, if your point guard, if the position that has the ball the most often is an inefficient scorer, I would think that your offense becomes inefficient just by the fact that he has the ball the most often, right, Harrison?
Yeah, that's going to hurt you. At least, like to his credit, he at least mostly looks to set up teammates, but that's sometimes at his detriment. Like he'll pass up open layups, gunning for assists. It's almost like I don't think that there's a player like it in NBA history, at least that I can recall, where you can almost criticize them. Like people want to criticize Westbrook for shooting too much, or criticize like Clarkson, say, oh, he's not a true point guard, whatever that means, because he shoots too much. But like Rondo's almost at the point where you can criticize him for like passing too much, which is kind of ridiculous. I don't know if there's another player like that I can think of.
Well, he's selfishly unselfish to an extent, right, Gary?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think he's at the point in his career that you have to, for him to be truly successful, you'd have to build the roster a certain way. And to me, he's not good enough anymore to where you should dedicate, your roster around him.
Right. And the other thing, too, is the Lakers wouldn't be able to build that kind of roster over the next couple of years anyway, right? So if it's going to take a while, and Rondo, and you're going to pay Rondo for the chance that he regains form that he had 4 years ago, you're potentially putting yourself in a situation where you spend 2-3 years building for somebody who may never regain that form. That's that doesn't seem smart.
Yeah.
And
neither do the Lakers at this point. Go ahead, Harrison.
And possibly like the worst argument that I've heard is the one where people say, oh, sign him because he's a draw to other free agents. Like other NBA players know who's good most of the time. And at this point, they have to know Rondo's not that good. And even if, like you're saying, let's sign a guy who's shooting 29% since his trade from the free throw line, like isn't a good three-point shooter, like is selfishly unselfish, like you're saying. No, but let's sign him to a $20 million a year deal because he might be able to bring in some other talent.
Well, it's like, funny because, yeah, I mean, it's people
right.
act like players don't have the same access to stats and information that, us casual NBA fans or bloggers do. They know everything that we do, so, you're not fooling anybody.
I would argue they probably know more in some ways. They've heard rumors, I'm sure, of him behind. I'm sure they know exactly how he is to deal with behind the scenes and in person. And like with all the reports that get out to us about how difficult he can be, I don't see why like Kevin Durant, who can just ask a teammate who's played with him or something, is gonna I'm sure he's played with some Rondo teammate or Perkins, yeah. Is he difficult to deal with and not get an answer that's like. And get an answer that's going to make him want to play with them.
Yeah, you could talk to a couple of guys. I think Perkins, Jeff Green.
Yeah.
Those are the two that are off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't know. Realistically, I'd like the Lakers to just avoid him altogether. I mean, if they can get him at the veterans minimum, which they won't be able to, he's not. He's going to go for more. What do you think he actually gets, Gary? Like, what do you think he actually gets from, let's say, Sacramento, or any ambiguous team?
Well, I'm in agreement with you guys. I mean, I just don't want him. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, not even for the veterans minimum. I just don't want him. I think him with Kobe would be a terrible fit. Floor spacing would be really bad, and defensively would be terrible too. So, but there's always a team out there that'll overpay somebody, especially with the cap going up. But it's tricky. I don't know. It's hard for me to come up with a number for somebody else because I don't like him at all. But I mean, maybe 10, 12, 14, somewhere in there, maybe annually. I don't know.
Yeah, it's well, we have a interrupter.
Oh, it's a Candyman.
Well, yeah, first off, I want to apologize to everyone, not for how bad the Lakers were tonight, but for the last segment and the starting five you guys did. I mean, Peeps at center. I mean, come, you guys gotta be kidding me. I watched that, and everyone else did a pretty good job, and then Ryan just.
Well, what would you say was the best pick?
Yours with Sour Patch Kids, slam dunk.
Yes.
Yeah, way to go, Gary. All right, so we'll go ahead. Matt has taken it upon himself to run a Sweet 16 of his own, not having to do at all with basketball. Late night Twitter for Matt means it's time to start talking munchies. Yeah. I don't know if there's a connection there. I'm not speculating or anything.
No.
But so Matt saw our segment on the Candy starting five and obviously has some issue with it. So who takes Peeps' spot?
I would put Butterfingers at center. Just it's kind of like Milk Duds. They're like tough, but I mean I think that would make a quality center.
Butterfinger at center. Do you want Kwame Brown all over again?
That's the point, but it's got to be realistic because centers, sometimes they have Butterfingers. So.
Oh. God.
I was joking the other day with a friend that Sacre's hands are promotion for Jack in the Box's new Buttery Jack.
Yeah.
Anything, basically, I would put anything but Peeps at center is what I'm trying to say.
We were telling Ryan they were too soft.
It's too soft. He tried to come up with you should microwave them.
Yeah,
that's not,
they expand in size or whatever.
Are Peeps even candy? I thought that was more of I don't know if I want to call that a candy. Like ding dongs and those hosted cupcakes. That feels more like one of those. Even anyway, right?
Yeah. It's not in the same. Maybe it's not
the marshmallow with sugar on it.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. I just had to start out with that. That was.
What did you think? Harrison kind of threw me off with his peanut butter Snickers at point guard. Man, I want somebody a little bit better known.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to hate on Snickers though. That's why. I mean, I'll let that one slide. Just because Snickers are so good. I don't think I've ever even had peanut butter Snickers, but it sounds like a solid combo.
You're missing out.
Yeah.
It's a good combo.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone else did a good job.
All right. Well, all right. I mean, you were at the game tonight, right, Matt?
Yeah, I just got back right now.
Just got back. He raced home. He was so angry about our segment on candy that he raced home from Staples. Mm-hmm. Told whoever you live with. Do you have roommates there?
Yeah. No. Well, I was at the game with friends, and I'm just like.
You just told your friends, I can't.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, do you want to go out for drinks? To celebrate this 5-game losing streak? And you're like, no, I can't do it.
Oh yeah, I gotta go home for the show tonight.
You should have done it from Staples until you got kicked out for not having a media credential. We could have done our first show live on location. Just as you were running away from security guards.
Or from the 7-Eleven. I would have taken the 7-Eleven as well. All right. Well, that was Matt Vazin. What did you think of the Lakers' live performance? You mentioned how bad the Lakers were. I thought they were great, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter. I mean, this was probably my first game ever at Staples where I was fully like, I wanted the Mavs to win from the start. You know, like clapping when the Mavs scored. You know, like kind of like on the side, so like people wouldn't notice. There actually were I tweeted there were people there was a person in front of me who was like posting statuses, and she posted, "Losing is winning." Like at the end of the game when we had running down the clear, I was just like, yes, there's more Team Tank people now.
The only thing I can
looking
think
over
of.
some random girl's shoulder and reading her phone?
Well, no, I it sounds way more creepy than it was. Like I had seen that she was like part of Team Tank, so it's like.
I could just see it right now, right? Like he's kind of looking over.
Everyone's done it too. That people.
And then she's like, she's tweeting here like this, and she's like, yes. and there's Matt. There's Matt. Go ahead and finish that tweet.
But that was really it. There actually most of the people there. I saw more Team Tank people at the Boston game than tonight. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. Yeah. There weren't that many tonight. So I don't know if I have no reasoning as to why. Like at least that's like that one I could understand more than tonight. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's really weird.
That is weird. Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I thought because the season goes on, I feel like there's gonna be more and more, but no.
Well, speaking of Team Tank, the Team Tank Nation growing, I believe we hit a spot tonight, right? We hit a special following mark.
Yeah, we hit over 500.
Yeah.
500 people, man.
We're at 509, so we got a little cushion in case some people decide to unfollow.
Well, we'll get a couple that'll tell us that they're unfollowing when they see one of Anthony's puns.
But they'll refollow after the season's over.
Hey, you know what? If you guys are willing to live through my terrible puns just for Team Tank, I can't believe you guys are willing to do that. I had some really bad jokes. Gary and I had a back and forth today where I called myself his Dikembe Mutombo. So,
yeah, that was the face I made too.
I can't say I blame you there. I thought for sure I'd be marked as spam from now on.
I was this close to blocking you on Twitter. This close.
That's perfectly fine. My wife was rooting you on. Please unblock him.
We just had somebody tweet at us that we need the first or second pick to really turn this franchise around. Well, it'd obviously be nice, but I think anything in the top 5 I'll be happy with at this point.
I was leaving the Staples Center tonight, and I started chanting like Carl Anthony Towns, like as I'm leaving. I had a couple people that like understood what I was saying, but most people had like no idea what I was.
Like, who the hell's that?
Mark Anthony Town. That sounds like a terrible like theme park.
Where's Carl Anthony Towns?
Do they serve tacos in Carl Anthony Town?
I thought it was Carmelo Anthony.
All right. Well, now that Matt's, Matt, do you feel better about the starting 5 with literally anything other than Peeps on there?
Yeah, I mean, no. I had to get that off my chest before he had like, too many shows past.
I can't say I disagree with you there. Peeps completely threw me off what we were expecting. All right, so just one quick look at the Tankathon standings. We had a nice night of tanking last night, right? Minnesota won, and Philadelphia, I believe, even won, right?
Beat the Hawks. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking at right now the Lakers are still in that 4th spot, 3.5 back of New York, only a game and a half back of Minnesota, and 4 full games ahead of Orlando. So that's what we're looking at right there. I'm gonna go ahead and sim the lottery because why not? I'm gonna sim it, and shit, the Lakers went down to 5.
Okay.
Well, that didn't
that's
happen.
acceptable.
Of course. Hey, it's cool. It's one of my predictions. That means they're going to move up to 3.
It means they're going to drop to 6 now that you said that.
I just simmed it and they lost the pick.
Oh, God.
They just traded for Rondo. They got a special. Adam Silver felt bad for him about the veto, and now just gave him Rajon Rondo.
I feel like I should simulate now to break the tie.
Yeah, somebody else sim it. Or
Let's just get everyone.
If they miss the pick on you guys' too, I'm gonna throw up.
We've been pretty good at reverse jinxing, though.
I got us up to 3.
Matt got us a 3. Gary, where you at?
It was nothing. Yeah, we lost the pick.
Oh my god.
Oh, and even worse, Boston got the top pick.
Oh!
Oh!
You're never allowed to do that. It's not even.
Your luck has run out.
As soon as we get off here, I'm gonna go pour some lighter fluid on my phone and just light a match and just burn it.
Oh man, I just poured out a little liquor for our draft pick. That's too bad.
We've been good at reverse jinxing this year, though, so hopefully that serves as a good omen.
Oh, Justin says he just did it.
Friend of the show just simmed it. We lost the pick. It was 7th.
Justin.
Tankathon really is mad at the Lakers tonight. What did the Lakers do to Tankathon?
I know we tanked pretty damn well the last couple of games.
That isn't. Well, screw you, Tankathon. I'm gonna do another one just because I need to feel better about this.
We need to get the guy
down to 5 again.
Okay, well 5's all right. We kept the pick.
There, I just simmed it again, and we got number 1, so we're good.
Damn it! Well, I just went down to 6. I'm getting worse.
Anthony,
we were gonna end on a win.
Doing it.
5 again. This is incredible.
So we're not sending you to the draft lottery, is what you're saying.
All right. We're back up to 2. We're back up to 2.
There we go. We'll take
it. Oh man, that was scary. That was like 5 straight bad ones. All right, so we'll go ahead and wrap up on that. Matt feels better about himself. Thanks for telling your friends to screw off, to really keep your priorities in place. We'll have to have a taste test and put the team together, simulate 1,000 NBA games with literally or Butterfinger at the center spot.
Yeah, I have to keep it realistic.
Yeah, and Ryan, shame on you for not picking a candy. I'm gonna Google, is Peeps candy?
Hey, that's what you could do. You could go to like a gas station or whatever, or like Walmart with like $5, and you have to assemble your candy starting 5 with that $5.
Salary cap.
Yeah.
That's great.
So our next show will be from a 7-Eleven. I apologize to the poor owner who has to sit through an hour of that. Oh my God! Could you imagine how great that would be?
Well, you can go from 7-Eleven and Matt can do it from. You could do it from 7-Eleven and Matt can do it from a Staples Center closet, and then. I
just picture the clerk there like walking back like, I almost did something really racist right there. I'm gonna stop myself right now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Man, that was bad.
For you.
That could have been really, really bad. All right, so before I get myself fired from every job I might ever have, thank you for running thank you for running the Peeps today, Gary. Harrison, thank you for joining in today. Matt, I appreciate you spreading the tank wealth, and again, thank you guys, listeners who are following us and supporting us and all that. We have some really exciting things planned for the not-so-distant future. Spoiler alert, it involves Harrison, maybe a clip from his coaching past. Maybe. We'll see.
It's like the Des Bryant video.
We have inside footage from Harrison's time as a coach. Thank you, Byron, for being terrible at your job, and this is us signing off. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for calling us the right name, Anthony.